Center for Industrial Relationship and Industry Academia Cell of, and in association with Institutions Innovation Cell of Aruvada Video Institute of Technology, Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation. I welcome you all for day 10 of Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0, Government Transforms with Emerging Technologies. It is a wonderful evening today. As a weekend, we have three energetic key panel members to our Digital India Conclave. Sri Isaac Newton, Director HCL Technologies, has joined with us. Good evening, sir. Welcome to AVIT VMRF. And Sri Satyaprakash sir will be joining shortly. Vice President Human Resource Amtech Software Solutions Private Limited. And Sri G. Venkatesh is joining shortly. General Manager Quality and Audit ICT Academy. So we have three panel members joined with us. Isaac sir is going to address on resilient strategy. Satyaprakash sir is going to address on life and skills. And Sri G. Venkatesh is going to address on education in digital India. So I take the privilege in welcoming Sri Isaac Newton sir on behalf of Aruvada Video Institute of Technology, Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, on behalf of our management, Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Principals, Vice Principals, Directors, Senior Professors, HODs, and faculty members and students of AVIT for this wonderful day of Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0. When we had a discussion and we approached the Isaac Newton sir, he was open-minded and he is ready and he has some innovative ideas. He will be enjoying it during his session. Not taking much of the time, I get into directly introducing sir on a short note. He's an engineering. He's a part of engineering services divisions of HCL, which is the #1 engineering service provider among the Indian peers in India. Currently heading the pre-sales functions of Japan business, have rich experience of software development and management in various technologies, have incubated small teams to lead large development centers, have served and closely worked with customers in India, USA, Japan, Korea, and UK. And currently he is designated as Sales Director, Head of Pre-Sales, Japan at HCL Technologies. His top skills are pre-sales, PMP, and global delivery. Prior to HCL Technologies, sir was with Larsen & Toubro Infotech and Seether Vessels Limited. He has his graduation, BE Mechanical from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, and he has a senior management program from IIM Calcutta. And we are very happy and eminent person for our Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0. And sir has an additional qualification or skill set. He knows Japan language. We welcome you, sir, for Digital Conclave of Digital India 2.0. Over to Lakshmi, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Babu, sir. Welcome my close to heart friend, Isaac Newton, sir. He has vast experience in technology. He is well-known person in Japan. He is leading Japan businesses for HCL. One thing I wanted to share with all eminent personality in this forum is the best strategy and business development leader of India. I'm proud to say this. He is man of perfect. Welcome, sir. I don't want to take much time. I know you are perfect in time also. You are mean for Japanese business. I would like to welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Babu sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you very much, Mr. Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is, as he said, he is one of my best friends. And I would like to thank Babu sir and Lakshmi for giving this opportunity to share some of the thought process in the resilient strategy. When Babu sir approached and we had a discussion, because we had a discussion of the kind of topics which are being discussed, I thought today we have a lot of unknowns, right? This is this new normal, there are a lot of unknowns. How we are going to do about this? Whatever the step we take, it requires a lot of time, effort, and money, and which we cannot take back. So that is why we thought this could open up some lights on how we can go about this. That is the idea. So the topic is we have chosen is the resilience strategy. So I'll get into the presentation. Yeah. If you are able to see my screen, please let me know. Time, effort, and money, and which we cannot take back. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before I think this, I also want to set a little bit of context here. So this session, we would like to make it interactive. It is not a one-way conversation. Yes, in digital technologies helps in a way that we can also make it interactive. It's not a one-way dialogue. So there will be some questions which we may want to answer us in the chat or some polls. That's the kind of format we have. With that, we'll get into the discussion. Yeah, this is something now COVID is there and we all think it's very new normal. Yes, of course, it is very close to us and it is threatening the life of many people here. But at the same time, I also want to share some of this. I think this is one of the cars which is known to India and very close to our Indian citizens, right? Ambassador car. Today it is no more, right? Similarly, if you look at these other products, right? So this Dynora TV, at one point of time, if you know, Dynora TV is so popular, just 30 years back. Kodak Film, today it is one of the largest film company in the world and college largest color labs. Today we do not know where it is. So is it something today, that time COVID was not there. Why these companies, what is the reason for obsolescence of these companies in less than 50 years? These companies have gone. Why it has gone? Can you, share your thoughts in the chat box? I'd like to respond in your chat box. What do you think? Why these companies have disappeared in the last 50 years? Any thought process you would like to share? Any comments? Due to new innovations? Yes, sir, it's right. No upgradation, technology, no strategy. Yeah, low activity, excellence and low activity. See, all the answers, what you're saying is, embrace technology, excellent, no updates of technology. Yeah. So these are some of the reasons, right? So, but COVID-19 was not there. So COVID-19 is not the only reason. Similarly, now we are facing with new challenges for the institutions, right? So what are the challenges for institutions? Today, whether we have to go digital or not, whether we have to launch online education or not. If you want to go to launch online education, what will happen to the faculties? How do we train the faculties? How do we know what kind of investment we have to take? So many questions are there. So how do we approach this one? So this is I'm going to share some perspective, but this is not, I want to tell you, this is not very comprehensive, but this is just to give some idea to look at the situation right now. So there are three questions I would like to share with all of you. One is, who is your primary customer? I think I could have asked a very simple question, who is your customer? But I'm asking a question, who is your primary customer? Then what is your boundary? Is there creative tension? These are three perspectives that I would like to share today. With this, I'm going to, so who is your primary customer, right? This is a very important question, I think, from the institution perspective or any organization perspective. The word primary is a key thing. Now, who is your primary customer? See, I would like to have a poll on this. Sam, do you have a poll? Can you launch the poll? I think I would request all the participants to participate in the poll. So there are 4 options, right? The primary customer can be, I'm asking the primary students, faculties, parents, research professors, government. Whom do you think is your primary customer? Please, everyone participate in the poll. I'm seeing 7 people have participated in the poll. Yeah, I'm having 11 out of 59 people have participated in this poll. So please choose one of the answers and click the submit button. So for 14 people have answered the questions. Sixteen people, I think 17 people have participated. I think we'll take a couple of quick. I think if you can submit your responses quickly, then we can get into the discussion. Yeah, 18 out of 61 people have participated. Sam, can you share the results of the poll, Sam? Okay. So this is the results of the polling. 47% have said students are the primary customer, and 11% have said faculties, 11% have said parents, research professors have been 16%, and government is 16%. Thanks, Sam. You can take up the poll result. Yeah, thank you very much. You can take out the poll result. Okay, so I want to share some of a case study. I think we all know that McDonald's, right? The McDonald's is one of the fastest grown food chain in the world. What is the reason behind that? So at one point of time, they were their primary customer was real estate and franchisee owners who were having good real estates in a prime location. They were the primary customers for the McDonald's, and they were expanding exponentially. But in 2003, what happened is they started facing problem. The sales started going down, and they were not able to get a clue. Then they realized that because McDonald's, as we know, it's a standardized menu everywhere. Anywhere you go, it's a standard menu. You will find out a standard menu, low cost, food, but easy to take out, those kind of food. But people were fed up with the same kind of food, same kind of menu, and no more was not working. So that's the first part. So they did a research on that, and they said now the primary customer was the real estate agents or real estate owners who can bring the prime property, right? So the whole corporate was working for them only. The whole resources, the capabilities they built were towards them. Then they realized this is not going to work. Then they said, I want to change my strategy. The strategy is my primary customer is going to be not the real estate business owners or the prime location holders. Now I'm going to turn to my consumers. Then they change the consumers. When they change the consumer, what happened is, so for example, in Japan, the food menu changed. In France, the food menu changed. Italy, food menu changed. So the whole, they have to decentralize the whole system itself. So that is a big change they adopted, right? Okay, this is for McDonald's. There is a similar problem faced by the Harvard University. Okay, the Harvard, Harvard University is one of the best universities. We all know that, and they were in a dilemma at some point of time, because some point of time the students' demand were very high, and they were not able to meet the students' demands. Then they went back and discussed who is our primary customer. Then they realized students are not the primary customers. Yes, of course, students are there, is part of the ecosystem, but they are not the primary customers, because Harvard is a research university. So they focus their effort, time, and energy into the people who are creating new knowledge, academic professors, researchers, and who are creating new knowledge. And the students were consuming those new knowledge, whatever they are creating. So that is the key thing. So the Harvard University, then they got very clear. Yes, this is not my primary students are my primary customers, and the research professors, academicians who are involved in taking creating new knowledge is my primary customer. That's where we have to spend our money, time, and effort. That's a big change. And then on, they never turn back. And we all know the success of Harvard University. I'm not saying this is the right direction or the wrong direction. This is the way we should go. But when we want to take a direction, it's very important to ask the first fundamental question is, who is our primary customer? I think the word primary makes all the difference. Because when we ask customers, I think people say students, parents, everyone, but there is only one can be the primary customer. Because we all know that, right? When we go to a shop, when the shop owner is not paying attention, will you buy a product? Obviously no, because we want the attention. So that's how the primary customer also will seek attention. That is why the word, the primary, becomes very important. Second, this is the second question I want to share it with you. This is since I think as Mr. Lakshmi said, Professor Lakshmi said, so I have been associated with Japan since '97, and I have taken this case study, Kokai Bone. It's a spring manufacturing company. Okay, it's a very different company because they manufacture industrial springs. It's not small springs. They manufacture industrial springs. Their strategy. This is a case study. Just I want to share with all of you. One is since 1944, this company is working on this. So they manufacture made-to-order springs. They do not manufacture volume springs. Like for example, if you go to automobile, all the cars require springs, right? But they did not get into that. They could have got into that, but they made a decision that the strategy is to manufacture only order springs, made to order. Their order size is very small, 5 or less. And also they're very clear, they don't want to accept all the orders, right? And even if you go back to the same company and say that 10 years before I ordered a spring, I want the same spring, it means that they have a process in place. They'll be able to take the information back and they'll be able to produce the same order. And most important, they do not compete on price. They do not give on discounts. They don't give discounts at all. So what is that key thing they said is they're focused on R&D. They focus heavily on R&D, on spring advancements. Even they have tried springs which can last for 100 years. But at the same time, because they are almost specialized manufacturing of springs, so they had a huge inventory of metallic materials because some of the materials, it takes times to source it. And also they share the technical know-how. This is the this is the this is a case study. Just I want to share with you, and I want to seek your question. And again, we'll go for a poll. Sam, can we go for the next poll, Sam? Yeah. So what do you think about the strategy of Takoibana? See, I think why? Because this is a very second most important question that everybody has to ask. I think two people have answered. I think your answers are very important. So please participate in this poll. I think it's very important. It's a very important question that any organization need to ask. I think some people are answering the chat box. Please um, answer in the poll. I think the poll which is getting displayed, right? I think you please select the option and press the submit button. I'm showing 22%, 24% have participated in the poll. I think we can have some more participants in the poll. I'm seeing 30 people have participated in the poll. Sam will give you the give a few more seconds. We'll give another 30 seconds for the people to participate in the poll, and then we can share the results. People who have not answered, please answer the poll. I think it will be getting displayed, whatever the Zoom, maybe in the mobile or in the desktop, whatever the mode that you're participating. So almost 50% have participated in this poll. Yeah, this is a good size. I think 50% have participated. Sam, can you share the poll results? Yes, I think you can see the poll results. It's share the not a scalable model. Okay, yes. Holding inventories is not good. Sharing the technical know-how is risky. Focusing on what not to do, 16%, and aligning the resources for what it is focusing. Excellent. I think the team who has participated, they said aligning the resources for what it is focusing. The most important aspect, and the second most important aspect is the boundary, what you should not focus. Today, I think there are, whether maybe the we may think that this is a asset, whether we should go for asset intensive organization or asset light organization. Whether I want to build huge infrastructure or I don't want to have a huge infrastructure. Many things are there, right? So something like this company, so they also tried in 1944 they started. Sometime in the mid they also wanted to get into mass volume of production, but they did failed miserably, and they realized the strategy for volume business doesn't work because their specialty is about R&D development and custom made springs, which are very specialized for industrial and like power plant or manufacturing plants or so on. So the most important thing is what we should not focus, what we are not going to do. This is a very important thing, and for that, what we are going, how we are going to align the resources, what you want to do, kind of thing. Thank you very much for participating in the poll. And this is a very interesting case study, I thought, because it's one of the classic example of even Toyota failed sometime when see, we all remember that in the US, you might have heard that when the Lexus car, so they got into some trouble. One passenger, by pressing the brake, it's something, it happened, it got into an accelerator, and so a major accident happened, and they had to recall a lot of cars because they moved away from the quality first to something else, and that derailed the whole system. Why? Because the boundaries, what each organization defines, is very important. If you are going to, because we cannot go and play everywhere. I think that's a very important thing. The same thing in COVID situation also. The why I'm bringing this topic is some universities, they want to launch online. Some universities, they want to go for completely, this face-to-face interactive mode. But what are the additions they make? They had to be very clear what is the primary customer and what they are not going to focus. Okay, with this, I'll move to the third question. This is another thing, right? Today we have any organization is made of people. Without people, nothing is there. I think this is why I picked up a very classical example. This one is I think we all know that's a beer bottle. I think people might have understood. And this beer bottle is a very interesting classical example because when we drink beer, I think some of you might have tasted, or this beer taste is very important, right? So we choose a particular brand of a beer for the particular taste, and so the taste also, what happens, there are beer tasters. They test the beer, how it tastes before it goes to the customer. So that's how they check the lot of the beers. Now, how do we engage the latest technologies? That is like artificial intelligence or something. This beer is based on artificial intelligence. What they can do, the consumers, what they can do is, I want to change a little bit of the hardness, or they want to more sweetness or anything, because the raw material we all know it's barley, right? I think this beer is made of barley. But how do you from the how do you change the taste of the beer? So what the beer companies does is they using the color of the beer and the foam it generates and also the smell it generates. They have various sensors and it learns the system how to change the beer according to the combination, and they come out with the new beer. So why it is important is, are the people who are engaged in the key decisions, or at every level, right? At every level. So that it may be in the case of a university, it may be at the faculty level, or it may be at a HOD level, or it may be at a particular college level or interdisciplinary level. What are the levels we talk, right? It's an important decision. How do we engage the people in creative tension? Creative tension is something there is a gap between the what we want to achieve and what we are today, right? There's a gap. Always there is a gap. So how do we achieve this? How are we enabling these people to do something, to go beyond the current level of status quo and do something? So this is third important thing, right? Whether COVID is there or not, even COVID, what kind of decisions we are going to take? And even without COVID, right? Like that's what was we saw in the case of ambassador cards, that's what we saw in the case of Kodak Film Company, or in the case of many TVs markets were there. I think at the time BPL, Dianora, Solidar. During my childhood, I have seen those kind of TV sets. Today, nothing is seen today. Why? It has been because there is the people involved or engaged in the process of innovation. Somewhere it has been lost. I think innovation doesn't mean that we all need to break through, but innovation can be a small idea which can create so many things. So it is a continuous process. We cannot stop it. So this is what is the third question. So what is the question is, how many innovations challenges have been taken and implemented, at least in the past 1 year in your organization? I want you to take a look at this question very seriously. And if you would like to um, uh, give your answers in your chat box, you can give. And this is my last question for today's session. Any suggestions that you have, please let me know. You can give in the chat box. Yeah. So this is the third question. I think these are the three important perspectives I would like to share with all of you. And with this, I think I also come to my slightly exceeded my time limit, Dr. Babu. Please pardon. And with this, I would like to close my session. And once again, thank you very much. I hope these sessions you will get new perspectives, and you'll be able to take new actions. And I think wish you all the best and success in your career and life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac sir. You had made the sessions direction to a new dimension, like an not more than interactive, like an participating in both. Our participants have been happy having another dimension. It's another strategy to attract participants and sharing of knowledge and key takeaways. So we have touched the important, as you said, unknown things are hidden. You have just explore the unknown things, as you said, relearning, given importance for it. We are happy. You have touched the significant note of all the basic developments of all those things. We are very happy, sir, for your innovative thoughts and strategizing for all those things. So we are happy, and thanks for your presence, sir. In a nutshell, you had made them everybody to an vibrating mode. Thank you, sir. Thanks for a wonderful.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lakshmi. Thank you very much,
sir,
for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, we couldn't give much time, sir, because of the time consumption. We would like to invite you to our campus after this lockdown period.
Sure. Thank you very much, Lakshmi. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely.
Proud to welcome, sir. Proud to welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sam, can you display Satya Prakash sir poster? Yes. So special thanks to Isaac sir for his wonderful session on resilient strategy. And we next move on to session 2. It's Sri Satya Prakash, Vice President Human Resources, Amtech Software Solutions Private Limited. He is going to address on life and skills. I take this opportunity to welcome Sri Satya Prakash and introducing Satya Prakash sir. He is currently Vice President and Human Resources of Amtex. He is a versatile and XLRI certified HR leader heading the complete end-to-end HR functions of an IT and ITS growth organization for the past 4 years, overall having 15 plus years of HR experience in various HR roles and gain hands-on experience in HR process, policies, compliances, guidelines that helps to an advantage for organizational growth. An accountable evangelist and representative of his CEO's office in implementing startup culture across the organization. He specialized in dealing with hippos through PMS and attractive reward system to sustain the organization positive momentum. Importantly, he is a proud soldier and paratrooper trained by Indian Army through NCC and still performing with the same spirit. His top skills are human resources, program management, and campus recruitment. We are happy to welcome Satya Prakash sir for today's event. Welcome, sir, for our Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, Satya, sir. Thanks for accepted our invitation.
Always.
This is 94th event of ours, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
We have conducted 3 global conclave and national conference also, where we met now. That time you speak about students' career development, especially for their employability skills. I also eagerly waiting for your session, sir.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
And also sincere thanks to Dr. Vijayendra and as usual our Lakshmi sir, who is Tendulkar among all the placement officers. Well,
Well said, well said.
So incidentally, he didn't have curly hairs. Otherwise, he would have been looked like Tendulkar. And Sam, for that matter, who is an Advent follower, getting things done aggressively. You have a good team, sir. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Can I have the slides? I have shared the slides.
Yes, sir.
Proud to follow Isaac, sir, as an HCLite. So, got completely groomed by HCL Technologies for about 11 years and also got an opportunity to work for JB Unit. I'm talking about 2000 to 2015. So, good, sir. Your session is really informative and
world is very small, sir. I think world is very small. We're getting connected.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those kind of food, but people were fed up with same kind of food, same kind of menu, and you know.
Sam, are you sharing, Sam?
One moment, sir. One moment.
Yeah. Kindly.
Sam, what happened?
So if you want, I can share it from my PC. You want me to do that? Is it possible to do that?
Yes, sir. You are the co-host.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I can do it, right?
Sir, presentation is live, sir. Prakash, the screen is on.
You got the presentation?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
All right. So
Sorry for the delay, sir.
yeah. So today I just want to share some of the insights, but not exactly very closely relevant to global conclave on digital India, but it's all about lives and skills when it comes to HR. Fundamentally, skills matters a lot, and life is all about what we visualize and how we quantify it, and what is the self-recognition, which all comes under the purview of the skills. So that is what I made it, lives and skills, because skills going to be continued whether you are at home, you are at office, you are at travel. In any way, we keep using our skills to convince people to be more successful in our life, um, to move forward in our ambition. So in any way, skills are fundamental. So that's the reason skills is all about visualization, quantification, and self-recognition. Next slide, Sam. So the first skills, if you look at it very closely, so what we visualize today is our present and future. I don't know, some of the many scholars has closely worked on it. So whatever the screens we visualize, whatever the newspapers we read, whom we interact with, most important, and what type of a team working in and around, everybody influence our life through a visualization. So that's very clear phenomenon here is what we visualize that influences our life, because we take a lot of information to our mind. We normally interpret it, we put it as an idea, and we present it to the world. So a lot of interpretation keeps happening every day. What are the pictures you look at? What are the classrooms you're looking at it? The role models whom you are following up very, very closely. So this visualization plays a phenomenal role in our life. That's the reason, those days, parents are very clear about Gurukulam, because the children wants to become a scholar. So the set of processes they follow the entire complete life. So visualization plays a phenomenal role in our skills. For an example, I would say there are two leaders. When we take the first leader as example of Karl Marx, visualized 10,000 books, has completed a complete library, in Germany. And he lost the vision because of, keep on continuously studying it. So reading is a complete habit. So what he visualized from the entire book, he brought in the great communist, the Karl Marx communist to the world. That's one of the primary examples. The second primary example is all about Mao. When Mao was completely not gone to the school, but Mao keep going through newspapers every day. His vision towards political, his vision towards the country, his vision towards the people made him a complete China. You will not believe. His visualization made 75,000 to 90,000 people followed up from North China to the South China. But when he come finally, because that's huge revolution happened before the World War. When he came and reached the South China, by the time he has only 40,000 people behind him. The remaining 55,000 people lives has gone because of various reasons in the history. The 55,000 people has been remarked as a stars in the communist flag, so you could see that today. So many leaders has given back to the world what they visualize today. All right. So when you look upon your skill very closely, it is very important that every day you should visualize what is important to you. Some of the unimportant things, the influences of unimportant things will bring down, your next further ahead movement. All right. So the first and foremost, when you look upon to the skills, when you look upon to your, let it be reskill or upskill or any skilling, your visualization is very, very important. So the planning for visualize what you want, that's mandatory. Next slide. So the second stage is all about the quantifying stage. When I talked about life is equal to visualization and the quantifying. how we quantify that we are coming to the skills. Most importantly, your skills should generate revenue. You cannot say that I'm a skilled person, which is brings zero revenue. The skills should be converted into dollars. How best you are taking up to the world is something very, very important. So always you have to quantify your skills only based on numbers, not even based on recognition, not even based on your own interest or a passion. If your skills, if you drill down skills, it's all about your interest and passion, your readiness to the job and etc. So that should generate the revenue, which is all about the dollar today. That's a dollar symbol, very, very clearly has been earmarked in the slide. So I have categorized into 3 levels. So how we are going to do it, how we are going to feel, because in all these 3 elements, your skills are embedded very, very clearly. If you look at it very closely, the first point is all about the smart speaker today. So when you look at the smart speaker, that generates information to you, that generates, whatever you desire, you'll get it immediately. So that's the level of, the devices has grown up beyond the expectation. So how we can look at it very closely is important. If you want to quantify, the most important aspect, you have to be in high potential. Today, high potential people are most important to the business. That the classic example, if you ask me in software, it's all about full stack developer, could be a meme or a lamp, who can create a quick, a high power results immediately to the customer. So those people can be more required by the businesses today. And we also, call those people as who are 30% of the people who demonstrate the behavior, which is a skill embedded in the behavior in the organization. Those 30% of the people drive the organization, strategies forward. So if you want to become the high potential, you have to be ahead of the complete group. You should be unique. When you talk about unique, the second point will come into existence. It's all about what is the differentiation you are going to create, which is known as the competitive edge in the market. Similarly, when we do interviews, especially at the customer level interviews, the customer look out for the people who can create a differentiation in the delivery. Let it be a high-stack developer, let it be a program manager, in any technology for that matter. The customer look at the skills very closely, who creates a differentiation when it comes to products, services, or solution. In any case, if you look at it. So the first aspect is, it's all about informative. It's all about how we position ourselves as a high potential. When you're on high potential, if you want to be, if continue to be high potential, what is the competitive edge you can create when it comes to differentiation in your services? That's point number very clearly. This is the first point where your successful skill is clearly embedded. The second point, this is the symbol of very clear. It's all about Captain America. Okay, Captain America symbol is very, very familiar. So why? It's all about, when you look at the skills, we need to be a role model. This role model has the fundamental skills of, I'm going to go back of high potential and being competitive. So I forgot one point about being competitive. This birth, what we have taken in this world, it is a very, very complex process. If you go and see the process of fertilization in YouTube, you'll get amazed that how long journey we have taken to come into the womb of the mother, and further after 9 months to this world. The process is very complex. And most importantly, I don't know how many people knows this figure. The number of lives we have competed and came into this world. I don't have any right now to put a poll. It's all about 300 millions life we have competed and came into this world. So being competitive, is started from our birth. So that's one important point which I want to emphasize, because our skills have started in the mother's womb. Coming to the second point, it's all about role model. So it is important to look out certain role models very closely. We need to organize ourselves in such a way when we move forward in our career. Since I'm an Excelite, when we look out certain seminars run by Vineet. Vineet was our the complete role model in our organization. The way he bring the organization together during 2006, the way he taken it forward, the acquisition skills, that was so dramatic. So when we closely look at the role models, we will completely, I'm going back again to visualization. When you closely look out certain CEOs, certain CFOs, very successful roles in software, any industry, you will become like that because of our visualization power. Automatically, we will acquire the skills of certain role models. We will follow the steps, what we have taken, what the respective personality has taken in the career. And we started become as a similar person in our career as well. So having few role models as a priority to keep following them in the social media, or having a close connect as a mentor, as even a buddy, and taking their advisory, reorganizing our priorities, where definitely our skills will improve. And the second, fundamentally, the second point is very, very interesting. It's all about early exposure to higher roles. Many organizations today expect people who are really high potential, or who have given a competitive edge, who started to demonstrate the role model behaviors. If you look at them very closely, they would have taken higher responsibilities in the current. So we normally call them as under a process name called talent identification and progression. Most of the organizations will keep following it. Again, when you start taking the higher roles in the early age, one is all about your skill is generating revenues to the organization. When you move on to the higher roles, the opportunity is open for you. The recognition is very higher. So taking the next levels of accountability, it's all about learning. It's all about being very close to the customer. It's all about understanding organization priority. Okay, involving in certain even unknown areas to demonstrate the skills. So these are the certain behavioral patterns which is most important for somebody who's aspiring for higher responsibilities in the early stages. Only those people, again, they come under the point number one, high potential, people. So how you can quantify your skill? If you start doing a role which is predominantly not expected from your current designation or anything else, so you mean, so that is very clear that you're moving up in the ladder. So that is another quantifying methodology. The last one is, it's all about smart selling. I don't know how many people have closely watched the open source methodologies. Today some of the technologies are open in the market. What this open source methodologies do is it will allow you to experience the technology. Very, very interesting factor. When the business started experiencing the technology, the business once realized that this is the right technology they want to adopt. They need additional features. When they need additional features, the open source, it will all be available. So they want to go and buy it and move forward. So that's the selling technology. This is a smart technology created by this smart selling model. So if you want to quantify your skill, first of all, we have to open up and show to this world that these are all the skills what I have earned, what I have developed in my career. Once the outside, the society starts seeing the skill, you will get an opportunity to sell it over a period of time, very, very aggressive. Then you start seeing the numbers. The open source will start seeing the numbers when the customers start buying the futures. So coming down the smart selling, the most important factor is you have to be a social leader. Social leader, especially when it's selling, is concerned. It's not about selling your product or services or a solution directly to the customer or directly to anybody else. Your customer may be a CEO, your customer may be a CFO, your customer may be a chief technology officer. The fundamental is how we are reaching them personally. I want to give an example. I got a call, very, very interesting example. I got a call from pre-sales professional yesterday, but I'm not in a position to continue the call. But interestingly, look at his selling skills. As a part of the discussion, he started talking about astrology. And many people definitely will not put on the call when they talk about astrology when it comes to an individual. So he started coming close by and have taken some of the personal information from me, and he interpreted the complete information and given me a picture that this is what going to be a success to you. So I couldn't able to cut the call. I was so interested to move forward. So the call from 5 minutes has went to 35 minutes. When I look at it very, very closely, his strategy is, as a social leader, he come closely and touch which point is more important for a person to continue the call. So next time, I will not forget. I will try and give him an opportunity. So that's the power of being very close to certain when it comes to the business. How you touch the personal life of each and every individuals whom you are going to connect with. So that's the power of social leaders. So you have to be anybody who wants to be a smart seller should be a social person. Should know what's happening in the society. What is the fundamental things influencing everybody? If you want to take up any matter apart from a business, how best that will take me close to them. So that's the power of being a social leader. Then automatically your sales, automatically skills will be sold very, very closely. That's the power. Another aspect, the most important aspect, it is all about how you can create the money for your customer with the help of the data, which is all about data monetization. The data, what a customer has, he may not know what's happening in his industry, what's happening in his office. So if you want to reach very closely, if you want to sell your skill, first of all, we need to understand the data of the another person, what's happening. Where is he actually? Where is the business is going up and down? Does he need a descriptive analysis? Does he need a diagnostic analysis? Or does he need a predictive or prescriptive analytics? So we need to be very, very clearly that how we can monetize the business of the client. That's the power of smart selling. Data monetization today has gone beyond the ocean. But if you want to sell your skill, but if you want to keep upgrade your skills, it is important to know the complete data, at least the fundamental data of that specific business, so that the customer will listen to us very closely. Having said that, the skills are embedded into start from the smart speaker. When it comes to a Captain America, when it comes to smart selling, you can easily quantify your growth when our skills have started generating the revenue. Let it be 50 rupees, or let it be 50 lakhs, or let it be 50 million. The skills, what you acquire, when it generates a revenue, that's the power of your skills. At the same time, when your skills has not generated any revenue, but if you look at it as an investment, you can continue for some time. But over a period of time, it should generate a revenue for it. That's the power of the skills, okay, which is most important of life. At one stage, we have to quantify and we have to convert that into numbers. That's the power of the skills what we have. Next slide, Sam. Okay, so this is all about self-recognition. We have to know that what we are doing exactly. Okay, so we should come to a conclusion that this is what our career, this is what our path we have, this is what our strategy, this is what we are trying to do and move forward. So once you visualize, once you quantify, definitely there will be a self-recognition within us. So one, we need to recognize ourselves first. we need to come to a conclusion that this is what my skill, this is where I need to move forward. The picture is, it's all about has a Dronacharya, and the most important character is Eklavya. Okay, so that's all about picture. So what's his importance here is Eklavya is so passionate about archery, and he's very clear that that is what his skill is. He do not want to quit. But where to go? Drona is the only opportunity. But Drona said very clearly, my child, I can't admit you because I have been assigned for the royal families. So you need to look out for some teacher. But Eklavya will never give up because he knows the only role model for him is Dronacharya. He knows he can bring in a competitive edge only if he's a student of Dronacharya. So what happened? So he never given up. He wants to build a skill. So he has observed from pretty long distances and gone back, created his own ecosystem. So creating your own ecosystem to build a skill is very, very important. It may be at your home, it may be at your office, it may be at your college, whatever the case may be. So what do you want to practice? We need an ecosystem. So he has created an ecosystem, having a temple, having a lot of different targets, multiple styles of archery, started practicing continuously. So he knows that what he quantified is right. One day, when Drona trying to change the camp from one end of the forest to the other end, the royal families use the wild dogs for a security purposes. One of the wild dog came back with a lot of arrows, close to 50 to 60 arrows, blocking the mouth, not even having one spot of blood. The Arjuna as well as Drona got amazed how this is possible, because Drona itself haven't given this lesson to the students. So they have gone back where the dog has come. They have seen a wonderful school created by a child. That the school has a temple of having the Dronacharya as the god, and this child was practicing continuously all different styles, what was taught by Drona to the royal family. So Drona observed and came to a conclusion that he could recognize that he is the one he saw a long time back in the forest. He came and asked, and he understood, and finally, because of the promise he made to the Arjuna, he made Eklavya. He wants to Guru Dakshina for all this what he has learned and taken up his right thumb. So the skill, what we are trying to build, doesn't mean that everything will come to us. So we need to go where it is available. We need to choose who is our role model. We need to get aligned with them. Many times, we have been ignored in our life, but consistent and persistent effort in our life definitely will make us to learn and become excel in our life. In principle, when we look at the Mahabharata, the world #1 archer is Eklavya. But the situation has changed. So similarly, so many such situations would have happened in our life. But the skills, what Eklavya has demonstrated, made him very strong in the history. So today, if somebody is closely looked at Mahabharata, they know very clearly is the #1 is Eklavya. So this is some of the thoughts I have quickly summarized when it comes to life and skills, wanted presented in this specific forum. And I urge all the teaching professionals, to be high potential for your students and also to be a Dronacharya for all the students. Definitely will create a very big change in everybody's life and see everybody as an Eklavya. Thank you so much for giving this good opportunity. I have rejoiced. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyaprakash sir. You have touched about the critical area about lives and skills, understanding lives, which is significant. Be strong on your basics and adapt to the situation. Talent not only relates to the end or anything. Be focused on your area and be focused on your guru. Wonderful, sir. You touched about both mixed of both areas. We are cherished by your presence, sir. Thank you for being one of the key panel member in Digital Conclave, Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lakshmi, sir, thank you.
As usual, awesome session, sir. About the life skills, competitive edge, role model, Captain America, Vinit, sir, smart selling, self-recognition. It was awesome, sir. I expect your presence in our campus.
Thank you. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we are moving into the third session. Sri G. Venkatesh, General Manager, Quality and Audit ICT Academy, is going to address on education in digital India. Welcome, Venkatesh, sir. Our special thanks to Sri Anbuthambi, sir, President ICT Academy, who was the key person to make it to happen. And also the thanks to Purna Chandra Rao to make it happen, and all the ICT team behind us who have been coordinating with AVT. Welcome, sir. I request Professor Karthikeyan, EC department, to introduce the guest.
Thank you, sir. And special thanks to Isaac sir and Satya Prakash sir for their embracing and enlightening talks. Right. Thank you so much, sir. It's been a privilege to introduce a chief guest, Mr. G. Venkatesh. And he holds Masters in Computer Application Business Administration with 15 years of experience in the training industry. Right. He has,
You can proceed. You can proceed.
He has been started his career as a trainer in IT and handling a diversified technology from C to now Hadoop and IoT. He has been associated with various training organizations like NIIT, Evron, and then handle the batches of corporates and TCS, CTS, and Wipro. Currently heading digital learning development and division of training and assessment and accreditation, ISO audits and internal audits of the organization with major of all administrative activities. Without me taking much time, I invite G. Venkatesan sir to give a talk. Right. It's over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for that nice introduction. And I'd like to thank this opportunity to address you all at this kind of a pandemic time, meeting all. It's a great pleasure meeting you all at this kind of a time. And let's get into the topic. The topic, Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0. And we being in the education industry, the topic that I have chosen is education in digital India. Now, let me share a presentation. Is the presentation visible to all?
Yes, visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Visible.
Okay, great. Fine. So when we have to talk about education in digital India, so we've been aligning to the topic on Digital India 2.0. Is it digital coming to education? Is it new? No. It keeps evolving and changing the entire education sector. And it is not that just started yesterday. Right from the advent of digital media and technology, it has been changing all the pedagogical methods and the interaction between teachers and students. And it also changed the teaching methodology. It is no more just bounded to the classroom or a particular coaching session. Now it has been merged with the internet. Because of the availability of internet, it can be availed anywhere, the interaction between students and teachers. And not only about the education sector, if you look at the entire nation, it is more getting connected, becoming digitally connected. And there were so many online education aggregators have come up. And these online players are creating various video contents, digital contents for students across the educational spectrum. And usage of various animations and tools, and again, with the help of teachers, lecturers, and experts like you all, they create videos, and though it is educational, yet it is entertaining for the students compared to the traditional way of teaching and learning. And because of this availability on internet, it is now available to everyone. And most of it is again reaching to the people who cannot even afford to pay them, since just because it is available online. Now, online classrooms are very interactive among the students, and they see it as a very interesting area rather than the traditional classroom. And because of this now available online, it also gives a liberty for the learners or the students to take up all the courses or the subjects at their own pace. And again, if they want to redo it, any concept, there is a liberty for them to go back and redo it on their own. It's again, not only for students, anyone who wants to reskill or revisit a topic which we have learned ages ago, yet there is a possibility that we can go back and do it because it is now available for all of us at online. So if you have to talk about in this day and age, digital is a key for making learning more effective and fun. So now, knowing that digital is the way across, so what are the technologies that helps us in the education? What are the emerging technologies? So that could be, the list goes on and on. I just listed a couple of them here. Technologies like augmented reality, Internet of Things, cloud computing, mobile learning, virtual remote laboratories, artificial intelligence, 3D printing. The list goes on, but based on the time constraint, maybe let me pick up a couple of these topics. Let's see how this helps us in the education now. Now, first, if you have to talk about augmented reality, which makes more interesting for the students. Because now the students need not to visualize everything in his mind. So now because of this augmented reality, it actually catches the students' attention more. So the concentration of the students are more when we present the content to them visually. So the engagement among the students, the interaction among the students is becoming more because they are experiencing and seeing what is actually, rather than just a learning, they are experiencing it because of this augmented reality. So based on this augmented reality, it is much easier for the teaching community to teach any complex concepts or any abstract, which is very difficult to visualize and imagine in mind, which we can be done through kind of a 3D models among the students. So for an example, this is one augmented reality where a teacher is trying to demonstrate the internal organs of a human body, which is very difficult just to imagine. Rather than now, if the student could have an augmented reality view, this is much, much easier for the students to understand the concept. This is another example when it comes to the different sector in the education department. And next, IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. If you look at the title itself, it says Internet of Things. It doesn't say Internet of Computers or Internet of Devices, which means things, anything in the world that could be connected to Internet is what IoT is all about. So now how that could help in the education. So whatever we now see as like smart boards and other things are all examples of IoT, but the help of the technology, IoT, does not just stop only with education. More than that, it also helps in the security part of the students. This IoT devices could be used for the understanding of students' presence in the class. When it can be tracked, the attendance of the students could be tracked using IoT devices rather than a manual name calling out. We could have a face recognition device done, which automatically updates the attendance of the students, or the students, how long they have been staying inside the premises. Similarly, to get an understanding of the students, when the students are moving out of the college bus tracking can also be done, and the information can be passed on to the parents as well as to the respective management team at the college or the school through the GPS system with possibility of IoT devices. And it also helps us to track students remotely if they are experiencing a off classroom experience. And if you still want to track them, it can be done through IoT devices. And next topic I would say is about cloud computing. How cloud computing helps in education. As the name says, cloud passes everywhere across. The same way the technology, internet, makes it pass across everywhere. So one big challenge for any institution would be the lack of infrastructure or upgrading to the current trend of infrastructure, be it hardware or a software. So cloud computing comes as a solution for that, where there is no need for the institution to maintain or keep upgrading whenever there is a new version of any software or hardware coming up. We can just rely on a cloud computing options, wherein it reduces the cost of ownership. I could just simply rely on, and because of this availability on cloud, it increases the adopting of self-learning or e-learning among students. And again, because of this cloud computing, it helps us to personalize learning and teaching among the students and teacher. See, I need not to have a same exercise being given, like in a traditional classroom, the same exercise have to be given to every student. Unlike that, since because of cloud computing, we could align any assignment based on the student's category, and we could assign them a different lessons to work out, etc. So there is a personalized learning and teaching among the students and the teachers. And with the invent of this cloud computing, we can also have a collaborative classroom session. This collaborative can be between among the teachers, which helps us to give more input to the students. Or again, it could provide an environment for the students where they could collaborate and learn, where they exchange their ideas and their learnings among the peers. And with the help of this cloud computing, they're not only learning, indirectly, we are also preparing students for the jobs in technology, because they are already handling technology when they are learning through cloud computing facilities. And I need not to say about this. The next technology I would say is mobile learning. With the invent of smartphone, now everyone have a smartphone in their hand. And yes, it's a great help through all of us, for us to take forward even the education through learning. The capabilities of mobile devices are increasing day by day, which is also adding up to the development of education sector. So through mobile devices, we would be able to deliver much better to the students. Again, with the invent of smartphones, the mobile learning is much easier, and we have diversified learning through mobile devices. It could be a virtual learning environment-based learning, or application-based learning, or it could be a simple podcasting where I need not to even have any videos or animation, simply a procedure which is recorded through a voice, which a student has to follow step by step. It could be as simple as that. Or as we discussed, the augmented reality application that can be built into the mobile apps, whatever we are passing is through learning. And yet another one is a game-based learning, which students would be more interested. It's like they play it as a game, but at the end, they learn a concept which will stay in their mind for a more time. Yes, so when we talk about education, is it only learning and teaching? No. So these emerging technologies just not only change the way we teach, learn, but also the assessments or examinations. So earlier days, it has to be like the examinations have to happen inside a classroom among the peers. It's need not. Or even if I'm going to write any technological examination, an online assessment, I have to go to a testing center. So this is no more needed. With the invent of these technologies, online examinations tests can be taken at their own place, or any place which they feel is comfortable for them. So all they require is just a computer and a high-speed internet, which will help them to take up the examination. And while taking this examination, one more activity that happens is proctoring of these examinations. Similar to a proctor who is the invigilator who invigilates the examination in a physical. Similarly, the technology has evolved. There could be an online examination proctor who invigilates and proctors these examinations. It is as simple as like, first, a candidate just logs in for an online examination, and he establishes his ID. He just produces an ID to identify that this particular candidate is taking up examination, which can be verified by the proctor who is remotely handling or invigilating these examinations. So first, a photo verification of the candidate, an ID verification, And again, with today's technology, we can even still go for an OTP verification to identify is this the right candidate who's writing a particular examination. This is all possible through this, with the technology that we are now handling. And remotely, I could be handling all those candidates who's writing up the examination, wherein we could, the technology has come up with a way like where I could even pass or resume an exam. If I'm identifying some malpractice, I could pass a test, warn, and then allow the candidate to resume if the candidate stops involving those such kind of malpractices. And we can even monitor the live streaming video as well as the exam screen. Is the candidate moving away from the exam screen or not? That can also be done with the technology nowadays. And this can also be done with, again, without any human interaction. We can involve artificial intelligence, and wherein we can impart face detection. Is the right candidate involving, or is there anyone other than the candidate available near the candidate helping the candidate or the student to take up the test? Or is there any other distraction for the students? Or you can still monitor whether there is any other malpractices like using mobile phones and other things during the examination. This also can be enabled through an AI-based proctoring for the examination. So with this, emerging technologies, it's not only the education part, not only the classrooms that can be changed, even the examinations can be changed. Is that all? Is it with that? No. What is the next step the student would look at is going for a placement, attending an interview. Yes. Now, the need of the hour, or with the pandemic situation like this now currently, the students or even the industries are now looking forward for an online interview or a virtual interview. And again, that is also possible because of the technology nowadays that we are using. So when it comes to online interviews, now the scenario is becoming more and more common, and it also enables this interview process much easier for even the employers as well, not only for the students. So in a nutshell, if I have to put across, I would say how this education sector is moving ahead in digital India. One, in the teaching learning process, with the various improvement and involvement of various emerging technologies, we could see a lot of improvements happening in teaching and learning processes. And added to that, the assessment and examinations are also getting different shape through online examinations and remote proctoring. And not the least, the final placement process wherein the students go for an interview, that also can be done in a very excellent way without students moving away from their places, which can be done in an online and virtual mode. So with that, I just like to have just a couple of minutes just to say how we could add to the dream of the nation like Digital India. We are also joining hands with the government in offering various services through our digital platform. We have an exclusive online learning platform called Sky Campus from ICT Academy. So through the Sky Campus, we are offering live online faculty development programs for faculties, and we are giving seminars to students. Again, this is also a virtual seminar for the students, and also a separate learning management system available for the students to make them undergo courses, various courses. And for educator as a whole, we have a separate series of sessions called Digital Knowledge Series, which we are providing for the entire set of educators. Thank you. I thank the opportunity given to me by the institution AVIT. And I'd like to also extend my thank to Dr. Vijayendra Babu and Lakshmi Mohan sir.
Thank you, Venkatesh sir, for your wonderful session, the significant session of our Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0. You started from the resource sharing and learning teaching methodology, and about the disruptive technologies, and then about how the evaluation system, like the current scenario, whether you go for online exams or not, and how it used to be secured, like AA based. So technology comes to in, and we are all watching your Sky Campus, sir. Yesterday even I attended the event. It was wonderful. Weekly Fridays or nice. Super session, special sessions. You are keeping our faculty members and students in a vibrating mode, I can say, in a lighter vein, so that we are getting updates in all the dimensions. We are special thanks to the whole entire ICT Academy team. Special thanks to our Shivakumar sir, CEO, Anbuthambi sir, our president and all the entire team who have been working towards to make this community and Digital India 2.0 reading. And we are happy we are associating with you. And I know that Lakshmi Mohan sir is much interacting with ICT Academy for a long time, and we as AVT are having a joint collaboration, expecting to have more collaboration in the future. Thanks for your presence, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Venkatesh sir, you have explained simply about the emerging technologies, augmented reality, IoT, cloud computing, mobile learning, human proctoring. Need of the hour session, sir. Thank you very much for your patient and smiling face. I would like to thank ICT Academy CEO Siva sir, Vice President Anbuthambi sir, and ICT Academy team members. You people are rocking. You are the biggest bridge in India for industry and institutes, especially for government sectors also nowadays.
Individual effort, it's a team effort that we are doing at ICT Academy. I will pass on this compliment to everybody at ICT Academy.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Satya Prakash sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, participants.
Pleasure joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Satya Prakash sir. Thank you, Isaac sir. Thank you, Venkatesh. I request all the participants to switch on the camera video immediately so that we can have a group photo. Karthikeyan, you can, I think, you can do it.
I'm taking it, sir.
Dear participants, switch on your video. You can have a photograph. Kindly submit your feedback. It is posted now. So far we had conducted 14 panel members visited on 10 days. 2 more panel members visiting tomorrow. So this session is going to rock on 11 days of 16 eminent panel members of different diversified areas. Tomorrow we are having Sri Ganapati Subramaniam, General Manager, Breaks India Limited. Sir is going to address on emerging opportunities and industries, followed by Sri PV Vasanta Kumar, HR panel, FICCI, TNSC, and Director Prometia Consulting Private Limited, who is much famous in FICCI and more industry sector, very senior most person who is going to address on Digi HR, what Venkatesh was addressing today. So we end this whole conclave Digital India on emerging opportunities and Digi HR. What a positive end towards our global conclave. So we're very happy to be associated. I request all of you just to post for the session.
Sam, kindly stop sharing so that we can have a snapshot.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Just a minute. At least most of the personnel have not switched on their camera. Only 20.
Getting converted.
Okay, sir. Good.
Thanks for your participation at 6:45 in AVT Career Guidance Program. There is a motivational talk by Usha Easwaran and our Dean Corporate Social Responsibility, Dr. Giri Rangasamy. Please tune to the same event also. Thank you all for watching us and joining with us, and see all those videos in YouTube. Thank you, Satya Prakash sir. Thank you, Venkatesh sir. Thank you, Isaac sir, for making this event in a different dimensional, skills, in an ICT digital education, on strategy, 3-dimensional approach. We wonder and cherish, sir. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Sir, we are not stopping this one.
Yes.
Yeah, we have planned to conduct. Yeah, we have planned to conduct the international online yoga conference in necessity of Ayush in present scenario. This is the first time in India, I think so. 7 days conference, 7 days conference, 6 days conference. Most of the eminent person from all over world will be participated. This is a great chance for mind and soul. I would like to invite you all to participate in this event, in this mega event. Thank you.
We will be sharing these details to the corresponding email IDs. 15 plus countries and eminent personalities are joining with us. This event just ends on the day of Yoga Day. So I request all of them to just participate and get it elevated in a mind and soul. Wonderful opportunity. Get it guided with the Ministry of Ayush and Government of India. All the best, Lakshmi Mohan sir, for a team to make this Yoga Conference 2020 a grand success. Best wishes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Let us meet tomorrow by 5:15. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Sam, for the wonderful coordination. Thank you, participants.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you, Karthik.